Yeah, I hate to tell you, but I won't fit in your box. I know you wanna know, but you cannot pick my locks. See you a part of me, like New York is to the Bronx. And everything is everything, we do not need to box. Cause I could stick and move, I am focused like a soldier. And you've been in my way, heavy like a boulder. And everybody's scared of death and getting older. When you release your fear, come cry on my shoulder. Cause finally the earth's come around. Use a new part of your brain, make a new sound. All we want is love, it's making a heart pound. The new children are here, they are coming out the ground. Stop medicating them, their power will abound. Now please just gather round, the pitch is at the mound. Catch my words, don't clown, you know you like my sound. Now give your girl a pound or a hug would mean you're down. And with the power of Isis, I will speak to your third eye. I'll be your soldier in crisis, I will lick your cheek when you cry. And with the power of Isis, I will speak to your third eye. I'll be your soldier in crisis, I will lick your cheek when you cry. Down is the four rivers, the waters they will heal. I will lift my hands up to the sky and make it real. I'll make it real. My brothers and my sisters, you will see how I feel. I will give you $1 to listen. Baby, let's make a deal. No, you can't buy me, don't even try me. In fact, unleash your lasso and please untie me. I'm done with the cowboys, they do not excite me. Don't need your opinion, please don't indict me. I won't do your homework, do not assign me. The universe will teach you what science is finding. Open up your chakra, your aura could be blinding. Grab some rose quartz and start reminding. And with the power of Isis, I will speak to your third eye. I'll be your soldier in crisis, I will lick your cheek when you cry. With the power of Isis, I will speak to your third eye. I'll be a soldier in crisis, I will lick your cheek when you cry. I am a writing machine and this is my weapon. Fighting with my mouth, peace I will be repping. We're all contradictions, stop your suggesting. The righteous do not judge cause they know it's projecting. And just cause I say it's the age of feminine doesn't mean that I am not down for a man. We all need some yang, get that dick up out your head. Cause there are mad women who are too masculine. And yes, I know that I do not sound Caucasian, but sorry, this is how it comes out like the days. And my soul is here for some consciousness raising. Stop all your labeling, I'm Kelly, amazing. And I'm not concerned with which God you're praising or what herb you're blazing. Your light shines, it's phasing, and now the bridge fades in. And now the bridge fades in. La-dee-da-da-da-da-day. You can light your own way. La-dee-da-da-da-da-day. Today could be your day. La-dee-da-da-da-da-day. I will be lighting my own way. La-dee-da-da-da-da-day. Today is my day. And with the power of Isis, I will speak to your third eye. I'll be a soldier in crisis, I will lick your cheek when you cry. And with the power of Isis, I will speak to your third eye. I'll be a soldier in crisis, I will lick your cheek when you cry. And with the power of Isis, I will speak to your third eye. I'll be a soldier in crisis, I will lick your cheek when you cry. And with the power of Isis, I will speak to your third eye. I'll be a soldier in crisis, I will lick your cheek when you cry. And with the power of Isis, I will speak to your third eye. I'll be a soldier in crisis, I will lick your cheek when you cry.
You know how in our last deep dive, Mind Reader, we kind of got into like how we might be able to like tap into each other's minds.
Right.
Well, today we're kind of shifting gears, but staying in that like unseen realm.
Yeah.
This time we're going to be diving deep into frequencies and how they can influence how we feel, even our physical health.
Okay.
Have you ever noticed how certain sounds can make you feel calm?
Yeah.
And then others kind of like leave you feeling on edge.
Absolutely.
Like agitated.
Oh, yeah. It's a fascinating area. Like we're constantly bombarded by like sound vibrations, right?
Right.
But we rarely stop to think about how they're impacting us.
Totally. And this deep dive is all about like uncovering those hidden impacts.
Okay.
So we'll explore, like the power of sound healing.
Interesting.
And even touch on like the idea of mind control.
Yeah.
But first, let's start with a musical mystery that's been causing like quite a buzz.
Okay.
The 440 hertz versus 432 hertz debate.
Oh, I've heard of this.
So most music today is tuned to a 440 hertz.
Right.
But some argue that 432 hertz is like a more natural frequency
Mm.
and even has like healing properties.
Yeah, it's an interesting example of how we try to like find meaning in numbers, I think.
Totally.
Like advocates for 432 hertz, they often claim it resonates with like natural vibrations.
What?
Like the Earth's frequency, maybe even our DNA.
Whoa.
And they point to research suggesting that it has benefits for stress reduction and blood pressure.
Okay, so there's like actual research on this.
Yeah, there's been some studies.
And then it gets even more intriguing when you consider like the conspiracy theories
Well, yeah.
surrounding the adoption of 440 hertz.
Like what?
Well, some people believe that the Nazi regime, specifically Joseph Goebbels,
Wow.
pushed for its adoption to create a more like agitated and aggressive population.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
But if you look at the historical context, the adoption of 440 hertz likely had more to do with the need to standardize tuning across orchestras. It was a time when instruments were being tuned higher for like a richer sound.
So like they all just needed to be on the same page.
Exactly.
Is there any scientific evidence, though, to support the 432 hertz claims?
Well, while the idea of 432 hertz being like superior is intriguing,
Yeah.
there's limited scientific evidence to back it up.
Okay.
I mean, it's important to remember that the second as a unit of time is kind of arbitrary,
Right.
which undermines those mathematical arguments used to promote 432 hertz.
So maybe it's less about finding like the magic frequency
Right.
and more about understanding how different frequencies affect us.
Precisely. It's about appreciating the nuances of sound and being mindful of how they influence us.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's move from like the mind-altering effects of music
Yeah.
to something more intentionally therapeutic, sound healing.
Oh, yes.
I was particularly fascinated by the vagus nerve
Right.
and its connection to sound. For those unfamiliar, the vagus nerve is like this major player in regulating bodily functions.
It's like a command center, almost.
Okay.
Connecting our brain to our heart, lungs, digestive system, and more.
Whoa, so it's kind of like everywhere.
Pretty much.
And sound healing can tap into this system.
Exactly. Sound vibrations, particularly from humming and chanting, can directly stimulate the vagus nerve.
So that feeling of relaxation you get after singing
Yes.
or listening to like calming music.
Could be your vagus nerve at work. It triggers the release of calming neurochemicals like dopamine and oxytocin.
Interesting. So is there research backing these claims about sound healing?
Oh, absolutely. Studies have shown that stimulating the vagus nerve with sound can reduce stress hormones, lower blood pressure, and improve mood.
Like actual studies.
For example, there was research on older women with hypertension. They chanted and it reduced their stress, anxiety, and even their blood pressure.
It seems like humming and chanting can be like a sonic massage
You could say that.
for our nervous system.
Yeah.
This kind of brings us to a more controversial side of frequencies, though. Potential for manipulation.
Okay.
We mentioned like
Yeah.
a potential CIA psyop in the materials for this episode.
Right.
And it made me wonder about the line between healing and less benevolent uses of sound.
It's a valid concern. While it's important to be critical of such claims, it's no secret that organizations like the CIA are invested in understanding human psychology.
It reminds me of this story about a former KGB agent who considered opening a car dealership not to sell cars, but to gain information and build relationships with potential sources.
Wow.
It just goes to show the lengths these agencies might go to.
Yeah, it's intriguing how subtle these tactics can be. We often think of mind control as like overt manipulation, but it can be way more nuanced, exploiting our psychological vulnerabilities without us even realizing.
That is unnerving. Makes you wonder, where does the power of frequencies for healing end and the potential for manipulation begin?
It's a question to keep in mind. And speaking of delving deeper, there's MKUltra, a pretty infamous CIA program.
Oh yeah, I've heard of MKUltra.
Yeah.
It's shrouded in mystery, right?
Yes, and controversy.
Sounds like it needs a whole segment in this deep dive.
Definitely.
But before we get there, let's take a step back
Okay.
and reflect on what we've learned so far.
It's clear that frequencies, sound frequencies in particular, can have a profound impact on us, both physically and mentally.
Definitely.
We've seen how they can be used for healing and well-being, but the potential for manipulation is there too.
Exactly. And it raises questions about how we perceive and interact with the world of sound around us.
For sure.
Now, let's turn to MKUltra and see what it can teach us about the potential and the perils of frequencies.
So MK Ultra, it's a prime example of how science, government, and ethics can get all mixed up. It was a top-secret CIA program.
Oh, wow.
It ran for over 2 decades, starting in the 1950s, and it aimed to explore mind control and psychological manipulation techniques.
2 decades. That's a long time to be operating in secret.
It is.
What were they even doing? What kind of methods were they using?
Well, the details are still kind of murky.
Yeah.
A lot of the program's records were destroyed.
Oh, wow.
But we know they experimented with a lot of different techniques. Hypnosis, drugs like LSD, sensory deprivation.
All to try and control people's minds.
Yeah, the goal was to find ways to influence behavior.
Yeah.
Extract information, maybe even create programmable assassins.
That's pretty chilling stuff.
Yeah.
Did they actually succeed in controlling anyone's mind, I mean?
Hard to say for sure. The results were mixed at best.
Okay.
And the ethical implications are huge, obviously. It raised some serious concerns about informed consent, human rights, potential for abuse.
Yeah, no kidding. It's a dark chapter for sure. It makes you wonder about the long-term consequences. Could those techniques still be used today? Maybe in some other form?
That's a good question. It's definitely something people speculate about, and there are a lot of conspiracy theories. It's unlikely they're still doing MKUltra style experiments the same way, but the interest in influencing behavior, shaping perceptions, that's still very much alive.
Right. That's where PSYOPs come in then, right?
Yeah, psychological operations, trying to influence public opinion or behavior.
It feels like we're constantly being bombarded with information and messaging these days. How can we even tell what's real and what's manipulation?
That's the challenge of the information age, isn't it? It takes critical thinking, media literacy. A healthy dose of skepticism never hurts.
So how do we do that?
Consider the source, always. Look for evidence-based claims and be aware of our own biases. We all have them.
So it's not just about being wary of government agencies then?
No, it's about being careful about all the information we consume, really.
Right, in all parts of our lives.
Exactly. Political campaigns, marketing, social media, it's all trying to influence us in some way.
It really is. Wow, this has been eye-opening. We've gone from sound healing to mind control and manipulation. It's a lot to think about.
It is. But I think it's important to remember both sides of it.
Okay.
Frequencies can be beneficial and harmful.
True.
It's up to us to be informed, to be aware, and to use them responsibly.
I like that. So where do we go from here? What's one last thing for our listeners to chew on as they go about their day, surrounded by all these frequencies, I mean?
I think it goes back to mindfulness. Just pay attention to the sounds around you. Not just the music you choose, but all the sounds.
Like the calming sounds of nature.
Yeah, or even those jarring noises of traffic. And maybe try out some sound healing practices. See if humming, chanting, binaural beats, if any of that works for you. You have the power to choose the sounds that support your well-being.
I like that. Sonic self-care.
Exactly.
And listeners, we want to hear from you. Have you experimented with frequencies? Do you believe in sound healing? Or maybe you have thoughts on the ethics of using sound to manipulate people.
It's a big question.
Share your thoughts and questions in the comments below. We always love hearing from you guys. And if you found this deep dive into frequencies as fascinating as we did, don't forget to like and share it.
Yeah, spread the word.
Anyone who might be interested in this kind of stuff.
Getting the word out about the power of sound.
Right, like its potential and its pitfalls.
For sure.
And if you want to keep exploring with us, be sure to subscribe to our channel.
Yeah.
We've got a whole bunch more deep dives planned covering everything from like the mysteries of the universe to the inner workings of our minds.
Always more to learn.
So stay curious, stay tuned, and keep those good vibrations flowing.
I like that.
Until next time.